Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sanctum. My name is Jesse, and you know who I am. And if you don't know who I am because of the awesome clickbait title or popped up in YouTube trending, my name's Jesse, and I'm the writer, director, and narrator for the Lost Codex YouTube channel, podcast, all this sort of stuff. We are back with a little bit of an analysis talk video going on. From what I know, that's the sound of Cultiris in the background, by the way. From what I know, there is a new cinematic with 8.1.5. I know nothing about it. I'm going to record it live in game, and we'll go from there. And then I'll come back and offer my thoughts. You know the drill. So let's hop right into the game. I've handed in the quest very quickly here, and Valeera has dropped down from the heavens somewhere up there, and Jaina does not trust her one bit. The dialogue basically has Valeera asking Jaina to meet her off the coast of Theramore, and Jaina gets really upset. She says, "Let's hear this message. Baine Bloodhoof seeks to right a wrong done to your family. He asks that you meet with you in secret off the coast of Theramore." Jaina gets really upset about this, rightfully so, because Valeera, a blood elf, Jaina doesn't know about Valeera's relationship with Varian, you know, how they were gladiator buddies and all that stuff. Even though Jaina was really close to Varian, I guess Varian didn't explain that. There have been instances in the past, now that I think about it, Jaina and Valeera have been seen together on screen, or they should have been at least, but maybe she's been a lot more secretive than we have been led to believe. For those of you who don't know, Valeera was Varian's gladiator buddy, and even though she's a blood elf, she's 100% committed to the Rin family. Not to the Alliance, to the Rin family. Jaina gets upset and says, after all that the Horde has done, you have the audacity to, because, you know, Theramore, and before you say, that was Garrosh who did that. That wasn't just Garrosh. Baine was there, Vol'jin was there, the Horde was there. To which Valeera responds, the Banshee Queen has eyes everywhere. Theramore is one of the few places she is not watching. Mathias Shaw interjects, says, Lady Jaina, Valeera was one of King Varian's closest friends. She says Baine seeks this meeting in defiance of Sylvanas, then I believe her. You may not trust me, Lord Admiral, but King Anduin will vouch for both me and the chieftain. To which then the quest text says, while I trust Valeera believes she's not leading us into a trap, I do not trust that this isn't Horde manipulation. I want you to come with me. I will meet with Baine, but I will not do so alone. One sec. Alright, so.
What needs done?
Sets out for the coast of Theramore. Let's go.
Sleep with one eye open.
Oh. Viewing the destruction of Theramore. Yikes. Of course, everyone's here. I do enjoy when Blizzard fades out other players. I do enjoy when they give us that kind of exclusive experience where they will fade out all the other players and it's just you and the hero character like Jaina or whoever. Because it does kind of take away from everyone being here. And I get they're all here, but like, they're not all here, right?
The way forward will not.
Jaina's gaze remains on the ruins of Theramore as you approach her. So much was lost here. I wonder if that includes me. Not for the first time. I question if I'm becoming my father. Lady Jaina, there's a Horde ship approaching. Let's go.
We all have our ghosts.
That ship, though. Whose is cooler?
Lady Jaina, long has it been since we spoke peacefully in Theramore.
Theramore is gone. You did not ask me here to reminisce.
No. I have come to return one who was lost.
Derek. My own brother. I had thought better of you, Baine. So tell me, is he the Banshee's puppet? Crammed full of blight? Is he the bomb this time?
Yes. That was the plan. Baine took me from Sylvanas before I was twisted to her will. I'm still your brother, Jaina. For as long as stars do shine.
Oh, the song.
Why?
The Horde has a sickness in it. We wage war while the Earth Mother dies. We have forgotten what truly matters, and my heart can bear it no longer.
Sylvanas will kill you for this. And she may not stop with you.
No life is worth living if we cannot be true to our nature. I return home to take what solace I can in my family. I hope you take solace in yours.
Baine! Thank you.
Jaina, I can hardly believe it's you. When I said sail, you were a child. And now... Lord Admiral.
So much has changed, Derek. There is something I must tell you.
I know about Father. The Horde spewed lies to poison me against you. But Baine explained the truth of what happened. You, Mother, and Tundred all endured so much. I'm pleased you have each other again, but... where does my path lead?
I don't know. But we will find the answer together.
I can't come home, can I?
No, not yet. But I know others who have been through this. I believe they can help you.
Will you come with me, Jaina? I don't know if I can do this alone.
Of course, Derek. No matter the storm, we will face it as family.
Oh. Okay. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and there is a lot to talk about. By the time you guys watch this analysis, it's probably going to be Wednesday. Recorded all of this on Tuesday, did my notes. So if there's something I missed or a later revelation that comes out, it's going to be a little bit too late to add that in. But with a bunch of projects going on, sorry for the little bit of a delay here. But we're going to dive right in. So after watching that cinematic, which you guys just saw me watch, I went and I played the Horde storyline. It was a little bit complicated to find because there's some bugs on the game right now where it doesn't immediately pop up, and it was awful. I had a hard time finding it, but I found it, and I did the Baine side, and I just needed a little bit of context. And I found, so for those of you who don't know, spoilers, Baine and Zelling and the player meet in Tiergard Sound, and they board one of Sylvanas' ships, the big, huge, epic ship that you see in the cinematic. You actually get to go on that. It's the same one that Sylvanas takes Ashvane away on in the previous war campaign. And you board the Swift Vengeance is the name of the ship. And Baine tells you that these crew members are fanatically loyal. They're gonna not take too kindly no matter who you are, even if you are a Forsaken player. And this comes into play, again, with the, getting to choose which side you're on. And I don't know if it's possible to skip this quest. I have no idea. Maybe you do have an option to go right to Nathanos. I didn't. I went and talked to Baine. I'm not sure if there is kind of like the Sarfang quest where you get to choose either or. Either way, you and Zelling, you and Baine grapple hook onto the ship. He kicks down the door, start killing the crew. Funny enough, the Forsaken crew actually surrender. At low health, they say, "No prisoner is worth this. Take him." By the way, you're on the ship to get Derek, who's in a cage. The Dark Rangers, however, do not surrender. They die. They die cursing your name. Sylvanas will find you. You will pay for this traitor. Blah blah blah. And those words aren't wrong. They're what we're doing. Dead true definition of a traitor at this point. For the greater good. So you go. You find out that the lock is a little bit more complicated. Sylvanas didn't trust one person to hold the key. So she made 3 keys. So you have to go find the navigator, the captain, and an apothecary. You kick down their door, ruin their party, kill them. Then Zelling guides the ship to Theramore, and once you end that quest in this cinematic place. So we'll dive just right into it, and there is so much here. As a Sylvanas fan, as a Baine fan, there's going to be a lot of Baine fans having their "I told you so" moment finally coming true here. A lot of people were upset. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So we start off here with Jaina's dad's. Is that Jaina's dad's boat? I think it's Jaina's dad's boat. That's sarcasm. That is definitely Jaina's dad's boat with the ghosts of Theramore in the background, which is very fitting considering how we started this whole expansion with the Warbringers episode and all that. How she raises her dad's boat out of the water, and it's a very haunting scene seeing this ship here. Very ominous. Now, one of the things that I did note here was Jaina and Shaw. Now, Shaw's appearance is constant in all these cinematics, right? He's in everything. He's in the King's Speech cinematic. He's in the Dazar lore intro cinematic. Am I missing anything? He's in quite a few cinematics, and he's here, of course. And he doesn't have any lines. He doesn't say anything. Like, his presence is almost unnecessary, but he's still here. Why? Now, before you say he's a dreadlord, I take it a little bit differently. Shaw's appearance here, aside from being the representation of someone with a badass mustache, he's the sign of security here. Not that Jaina needs protection. No one. Jaina's the security force and the VIP, but Shaw's is a representation of just that the Alliance has their shit together. The SI7 and the 7th Legion is so well coordinated. Shaw is at every, just like Nathanos. Nathanos is there alongside Sylvanas and everything. Shaw is also there at every important moment, even if he's not necessary. In the Dazar lore intro cinematic, they could have made it Gelbin or Tandrid says, we're approaching Zandalar, but they gave that role to Shaw. And remember I freaked out when Shaw was, saving the guy in the background. Little unnecessary bits, but they're so important to Shaw's character. And I think Shaw just being here is a small gesture, but also to show that the Alliance has their stuff organized. Like, they are winning this war, and Shaw here is just I don't want to say a show of strength, because this is totally, you don't need a show of strength when Jaina Proudmoore's there. But he's just there. I don't want to say there for protection, but he's there just as a sign of security, even though Jaina is going to be the one to protect them both. And I just found it really cool that Shaw's just been everywhere so much, which is really cool to me. Big spooky ship coming in. Kind of curious. We can kind of make out the sigil there on the flags there, coming through the fog. Her fingers tighten. It's tense. Eyes narrowing. Ship's getting closer. And I remember when I was recording, I said, "Whose ship is cooler?" They are both stupidly cool. I got to run after now running around and exploring the Forsaken ship. Oh man. It used to be that the Forsaken used to resurrect their ships, just like they do with everything else. Basically destroyed Alliance ships from the bottom of the sea and then repair them. But this looks like a totally custom-made Forsaken boat, and it is amazing. Jaina's dad's boat, though, is still number one, I think. Board drop. We got our Baine, big boy Baine, and if you little note there, his head's kind of down. You know, he's walking the plank, and you know, both metaphorically, physically, his head's bowed a little bit. And it could just be, you know, he's got a heavy headdress on, but there's a lot of little subtle gestures that Baine has in here that I'm gonna point out to you. Now, side note, just note Shaw's incredible eyebrow game right now. He is saying nothing, but he is saying everything at the same time. Those eyebrows are saying, what is going on? What is this about? And Jaina just full of, you know, distrust here. Eyes narrowing, big hooves. Oh, some boots.
Lady
Who dat? We know who that is.
Long has it been since we spoke peacefully in Theramore.
So, in a couple of the Warcraft novels, Baine and Jaina and Anduin actually have a decent relationship. Anduin and Baine are best friends, and in Before the Storm, Sylvanas ends that pen pal relationship and says, you know, stop, no more DMs. And at one point in time, Baine actually goes to Theramore, and the reason why Jaina knew about the Theramore bombing is because Baine sends a warning to her. Baine basically says the Horde is on the march. Baine couldn't go himself because Baine was actually present at the attack on Theramore. Baine was inside Theramore, crushing Theramore guards left, right, and center with his mace. Vol'jin was there too. It wasn't just Garrosh's attack. They were there. Not that Baine was eagerly killing Jaina's guards, but they were still present. But there was a point in time when Baine was ousted from Thunderbluff after Magatha took over, and he was actually in Theramore at one point, and they spoke on good terms. And as a sign of thanks, Baine is the one who sent the warning much later on when the Theramore attack happened. So it's a nice little throwback to that. We never saw that in game, but it's still cool that was kind of mentioned in the cinematic, and Jaina's having none of it.
Theramore is gone. You did not ask me here to reminisce.
Shut up, Baine. That's what she said. Don't bring that up. Of all times to bring that up. And again, just power stance at the ready. Shaw in the corner, man.
No.
And then Baine gets right down to it.
I have come to return one who was lost.
The way he says lost, he is so... I mean, I know it's for dramatic effect, like the music builds up, but he sounds so ashamed. And for those of you, we've seen the resurrection of Derek Proudmoore in a in-game cutscene with our player present. And there's a point when Derek's body starts to twitch and reanimate that Baine's character, the developers on the cinematics team who made that scene, they make Baine look away. Baine is looking and Baine is shaking his head, and then when Derek starts to reanimate, Baine looks away. Necromancy is not something that's widely accepted. Still, after all the horrors that Azeroth has seen, the Lich King, Deathwing, the Burning Legion, necromancy is still a bad form of magic. And you know, we the players have seen necromancy so many times, it's just kind of like, who cares, right? But ultimately, it goes against the very nature, the laws of nature on Azeroth. And the only ones who are kind of okay with it are some trolls. And I say some trolls because even Bwon Samdi is not cool with it. We've seen necromancy as a more common practice in certain elements with trolls, but everyone else is abhorrently appalled by necromancy, and Baine has to look away when this is happening, and he's seen some dark shit, and he still has to look away. So Baine is full of shame right now because he's not only part of the faction who did this, he watched it happen. He watched Derek, water-clogged, bloated, not really bloated, but bloated body be reanimated in front of him, and he had to turn away in the in-game cutscene.
Come to return one who was lost.
Take off your hat, boy. Jaina's who dat?
Derek.
Okay, so there's a lot of discussion right now going on about Derek's eyes. Good God, everyone talks about the eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. So, eyes. What's going on here? Now, in-game, he's got a Death Knight glow. In the cinematic, he doesn't. Now, I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a limb here and say that the in-game representation might just be to show some sort of form of undeath. Whatever the cinematic shows, I guarantee you is not a matter of the cinematics team forgot. Something as important as an eye glow isn't something that that was just simply forgotten. It's not going to be something on an in-game model that doesn't translate over. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to say that the reason why he doesn't have a glow in the cinematic is I assume it's like the milky like film over just a dead body, right? It's not, they don't want to give it the Forsaken glow. Because, what does that lich light in the Forsaken eyes represent? The yellow glow, or red if you're a Dark Ranger. What does that represent? Does that represent Lothar Sylvanas? What is there? Mind control going on? We don't know. Death Knight glow, Lillian Voss has always been a weird character with that. So, don't really want to touch there. And a pure white glow, as we know, is Kalia Menethil from Before the Storm. Now, this isn't a pure white glow. These eyes are not glowing vibrantly white. And I think that's important to note, because if they were, there would be a moment when the eyes are the absolute focus. Now, the eyes are the focus here. Derek's whole face, the cracks of the decaying flesh and the water-clogged hair, that's the focus right now. But there would be more of an effort to focus on the shining of the eyes. We have seen eyes become a center point in cinematics before, with Talanji's eyes glowing with the power of Rizan and the intro to Zandalar cinematic. So I think that if the eyes, if there was an intent for some glowing white eyes or glowing eyes at all, it would be a little bit more clear here. But when you see him in game, he's got the Death Knight eyes. And I don't want to say it's a mistake, but it could just be that the in-game representation was to give him some sort of representation of undeath, and that's what the eyes were. But in-game, if they gave it white, it would allude too much to Kalia. So the default to the Lillian Voss, I don't know. I'm betting that the reason it just doesn't have a glow in the cinematic is for the film, the milky film over a corpse. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think people are looking too much into the eye color just a little bit, but it's definitely. I'm going to go on a limb and say people are saying, is the cinematic wrong? Did they forget? No, I'm going to say that if anything, the in-game representation is a little bit weird, because there would have been a little bit more intent to focus on that eye color, but maybe not. Eye colors, they're kind of an important centerpiece with cinematics or anything, and I don't know, to me it would just be a little bit more clear if that was the case, but let's keep going. Oh, Jaina's reaction, there is so much here, and the single second of reaction here. Shock. There is, she almost recoils, shock,
My own brother.
and then she gets angry, and this anger, oh man, there's a lot here. I'm gonna play the scene before I talk about it.
I had thought better of you, Baine. So tell me, is he the Banshee's puppet? Crammed full of blight? Is he the bomb this time?
Yes.
All right, so look at Baine's reaction. Baine is just uncomfortable with all this. Baine doesn't say anything because he can't say anything.
I had thought better of you, Baine.
He almost winces, like he's not giving her like a challenging glare. He's wincing because he knows this is the worst possible thing. Necromancy is bad.
So tell me, Is he the Banshee's puppet?
Is he the Banshee's puppet?
Crammed full of blight?
Crammed full of blight. I don't think that's how Forsaken work, Jaina. But, you know, I get it. You're angry. This next line is the line that I don't get, you know, chills, and watching a cinematic getting chills, that's a common thing. We always say, oh, I got chills watching that. This was my chills moment in the cinematic. This next line.
Is he the bomb this time?
Is he the bomb this time? Okay. Now, I hope no one watches this cinematic and says, oh, Jaina's going crazy again. Because so many people don't understand Jaina's character. There's so much defense for Sylvanas, you know, queen of the genocide, but there's so much dismissal for Jaina Proudmoore. And I find a lot of, and I'm going to as someone who plays both Alliance and Horde, a lot of Horde players blindly generalize Jaina as someone who's just insane and angry, as someone who's just unnecessarily consumed by rage. And I feel that those people haven't read Tides of War. So if you haven't read Tides of War, I'm sorry, but you don't have the full story. I read a synopsis. No, read the whole story. It is an emotional roller coaster, and that bomb drop by Garrosh ripped her apart. That, first of all, powerful words at a powerful location. She's at Theramore this time. Is he the bomb this time? Is he the weapon? Is Derek the catalyst that's going to rip her entire life to shreds again? Is he that which nearly destroys her? Because everything, she is consumed by pain in this scene. It is not insanity. It is not blind rage. She is not going off the deep end this time. And Laura Bailey's delivery on this, oh my god, I watched this so many times. I'm pretty sure my reaction, I'm just stunned because it is so well delivered. We have seen a lot of yelling and anger scenes, but Jaina, she's so consumed by pain in this single moment that if you don't feel sorry for her in this moment, God, what are you? You really are a Banshee puppet, aren't you? Because and the music building up Baine's guilt on his face, Jaina's rising fury, it's all so great. It comes so well together. Jaina's story, okay, with Theramore. Jaina, I'm going to say a little bit of an unpopular opinion. Jaina's story was a little bit meh leading up to Theramore, right? Her story with her father, really cool, but they didn't really explore that in WoW. There was the whole story with Egwene, and then she was trying to have peace between the Horde and Alliance, and it just got repetitive, and all right, fine. And then the Cataclysm happened, Garrosh happened, and suddenly Jaina becomes way more interesting. Suddenly she's consumed, you know, everything comes flashing back to her of, oh my god, Dad was right. Dad was right. This is horrible. What is going on? Dad is right in her own kind of way, that the Horde was evil kind of way. They dropped the bomb. I'm not saying the Horde's evil. But the way she just builds up, is he the Banshee Queen's puppet? Is crammed full of blight? Is he the... We gotta watch it again.
Crammed full of his puppet? Crammed full of blight?
Baine.
Is he the bomb this time?
Oh, the fury. Like, she is so... The pain is there, the rage is there, but she's in full control. She's not going insane. And anyone who takes this as her going off the deep end, you need to understand storytelling, because Jaina is in the moment, is at the location of where everything came crashing down. All the symbolism on her going on right now, with her father's necklace around, her dad's boat at the husk of Theramore, and now her dead brother of 20 years is standing before her as a Forsaken. 20 years, did I do that math right? No, that is way off. 30 years. Doesn't matter. This is, and I think the reason why the pain and fury is here is because it's Baine. If it was like Sylvanas, she would just rip Sylvanas, right? But Baine, and he opens with, "It's been a while since we've had some peaceful conversations here at Theramore," and then now she's like, "Really? Of all people, places, times, you're gonna do this to me?" Magic lights up, it's building,
Yes.
and then it ends. The look on her face when Derek says yes. Wait, what? I love the glow in her eyes fades.
Yes.
Not in her eyes. It's the reflection of her magic. By the way, she's not a lich queen here. Let's all relax, people.
Yes.
That was the plan. But
Look, okay. There's a couple focuses here. Baine is not saying a word. He's letting Derek. He's letting this just play out. He's not saying a word until he's addressed later. Jaina has so much pain in her face right now. She's still in control. Jaina's not gone off the deep end. If I see a single comment Jaina's gone off the deep end, we're gonna sink the ship. Jaina's face is full of pain. Derek's standing there with his hat off. Now, there's a little bit of focus on the knife here.
Baine took me from Sylvanas
Baine bows his head.
before I was twisted to her will.
There's been a lot of insinuation that Sylvanas has some subtle, or not so subtle, forms of mind control going on. And here we see a Forsaken entirely independent, or so it seems, of Sylvanas' influence, of that unnatural hatred and fury. Forsaken feel a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion. And I'm actually... There's something I think you guys should see. We're gonna stop the analysis right here. I'm gonna show you an in-game dialogue between Derek and Baine after Derek's been raised. Just listen to the voice acting and the terror and the pain in this cinematic.
Please, help me. I don't know what's happened. What's been done to me? I remember the battle. Orcish dragon riders. Our decks consumed by flame. I felt a blaze of agony. And then... darkness. I was dead, wasn't I? But for how long? I am not quite alive, and yet... Oh, I don't understand this. Oh, please. Yes, you please. How is this possible? Tell me, where is my father? My mother? Jaina? Tandred? No, please, I'm so alone. Don't leave me alone.
First of all, that was extremely well delivered. That is really, really damn cool. Second of all, Derek has so much terror going on in his voice right there. There's a lot going on. When a Forsaken is raised, there's a lot going on in your mind. Usually the last thing that you feel often has an impact on who you become, which is why Syrah, the Warden, didn't seem so bizarre to me when she became a Dark Warden. In her final words, she was cursing Tyrande. Where are you? You failed me. She's standing in the husk of Teldrassil. Where's Elune? Where's Tyrande? And then she dies. Same with, but here Derek's confused. Derek talks about, he remembers the Dragonfire, remembers the orcs, remembers the heat, and then darkness. He's confused. He's terrified. And I honestly, and maybe I'm just trying to be a little bit positive, but I honestly don't think Derek is mind controlled. I think he's entirely independent. I think we did get to him on time. Now, there is a little bit of a focus here on the knife. Why? Why the knife? Now, I am going to go out on a limb and say that this knife is part of that set, for the record. Like, there are what's the word I'm looking for? The coat model in game with the belt that ties into that. There are many belts with new Kultiris themed belts that have the dagger on the back, and you can see other NPCs wearing this with the dagger on the back. So I'm wondering, it's not just by accident here. It's part of the set, but is the dagger a red herring? Because I have seen NPCs with daggers on the back, so I'm just wondering. Red herring, part of the set, a little bit of focus. There's an almost center focus on here.
Before I was twisted to her will.
Now this next part is he recovers really quickly, and like the gruesome detail in his face is amazing. But he recovers really quickly here to reassure Jaina that he's still her brother.
I'm still your brother, Jaina. For as long as stars do shine.
As long as stars do shine. This cinematic, right here.
Ahoy, ahoy, sweet daughter of the seas.
Ahoy, this child be mine. The Admiral's girl, his whole entire world. For as long as stars do shine.
For as long as stars do shine. It's part of the original lyrics of Daughter of the Sea. Not the twisted, angry, let's all hate Jaina version that we heard in Warbringers, because that was rewritten after Jaina betrayed Dalen. The original lyrics included that line.
For as long as stars do shine.
And Derek would know that. Jaina was a little girl at that point. We see in the Jaina comic that Jaina was just a tiny little girl when she was at her brother's funeral, standing next to her father. But so Derek would have known about that song. And the look of realization in Jaina's face. Now, this is where things can get a little bit deep. How deep does Sylvanas' corruption go? And do all the memories that a evil Forsaken have, are they retained? So I'm a little bit conflicted here, because if Derek is fully corrupted, dropping that line is a real deflector. It really kind of lowers Jaina's defenses. But I think that line being delivered by Derek is to show that he isn't corrupted, that he really is her brother. He is pulling deep into the mental, the memories, deep into his psyche of who he was, of what he remembers way back when, which isn't really a long time ago, because he died and he just woke up. So the memories, you could argue, are they still fresh in his mind, or is it kind of way far back? We don't really know how that works. But I honestly think that by dropping that line, that's his way of saying, I'm still here, Jaina. This no part of me is a puppet. But Sylvanas' whole game is deception, right? And I'm curious, did she go deep enough to find that line?
Why?
And these little moments where she recoils and then looks to Baine.
The Horde has a sickness in it. We wage war while the Earth Mother dies.
His voice shakes there.
Wage war while the Earth Mother dies.
Like Baine's on the verge of crying at this point. His voice shakes.
We wage war while the Earth Mother dies. We have forgotten what truly matters. And my heart can bear it no longer.
Baine is just full of emotion today. Baine, there's a lot going on. And I think Jaina's reaction to when she looks from her brother to Baine, that's a little bit of a tipping point for her. She recoils, and then Baine, he shakes. He sounds pain. He's uneasy. He's physically hurting, and he's emotionally hurting. We wage war while the Earth Mother dies. Interesting that he's referring to Azeroth as the Earth Mother. I mean, we've never really known what the spirit of the Earth Mother is. It's kind of like a mysterious illusion. It's a Tauran figure. But but we don't know a lot. And it's interesting that he's with the whole Ulduar and meeting Mother in Ulduar. Uldir. It's interesting. I thought that was a nice little touch there. And then Jaina, my heart can bear it no longer. Baine is channeling the old Horde. And I'm not talking the old Horde. I'm talking Thrall's Horde. I'm talking the good Horde, not the Loktarogar victory or death, pillage and loot. The Horde is in a way villains, but there's also the side of the Horde that's not villains. And Baine is definitely channeling that. So there's going to be a lot of you Sylvanas fans who are watching this going, he's a traitor. Remember, Horde, we're all traitors to the Horde because we all turned on Garrosh, and Garrosh was still our war chief. So if you're mad that Baine and Sarfang are betraying their war chief, don't worry. You've already done it. You've already been there. No worries.
Truly matters, and my heart can bear it no longer.
Sylvanas will kill you for this. And she may not stop with you.
I love this scene right here, this still, with Baine and Jaina just looking at each other. And the line that's spoken, she may not stop with you. Now, I'm not going to talk about what happens in the next chapter. I don't know if that's been unlocked on live yet. I haven't done it yet. I know what happens, but we're not going to talk about that here. But there's more coming. And I just the look of sadness in Baine's face and Jaina, the parallel right here is and I think what's important here is this peaceful, beautiful shot between Jaina and Baine. Peace can exist. And this next part hit me about the third time watching. I noticed the song, but I didn't notice the instruments being played. Let's listen.
With you.
No life is worth living if we cannot be true to our nature. It's worth
you.
That's the Daughter of the Sea tune, but it's played on pipes. It's played on Tauren instruments. And the only word I can use to describe is unity right here. It is Daughter of the Sea song with Jaina standing there, being played on a very gentle, very harmonious sounding instrument that the Tauren would play. And that coming together, that may not seem like a huge moment, but it is. That the instrument there takes everything.
No life is worth living if we cannot be true to our nature.
God, that is so emotional. Well done for that. I mean, well done for the whole cinematic, but that moment, oh my God, it's almost as powerful as Is He the Bomb now with the music and just how in tune that scene is with the Horde and Alliance. We've got Baine. Baine's is kind of like the Anduin of the Horde, right? He tries to see the best in people. Jaina is done with the Horde. Jaina has no shits to give, but here she's giving a shit. Her and Baine are talking. Her song is playing on Baine's instrument. And that's really cool. That there's a lot of symbolism right there that is so important. And the line here, no life is worth living if we cannot be true to our nature. People have wondered, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. The whole thing is a tangent. People have been wondering why Baine has been doing nothing in the background. Why didn't Baine punch Sylvanas in the Lordaeron cinematic? Why didn't Baine throw her off the Zeppelin into the Blight? Alright, I admit that would have been pretty cool. But she can fly, so it doesn't matter. Why has Baine been doing nothing in the background? And I've said from that moment, when we saw Baine slamming his hands on the door and turning to Sylvanas saying, "You left Sarfang out there to die," and then he lowers his face and he looks at her and he growls for the Horde. And then he walks away.
You abandoned Sauerfang to die out there!
It is the death he wanted. If that troubles you, you're free to join him. Or you can tend to the living. The choice is yours.
For the Horde.
There's a lot processing there, right? And I'm sorry, but if Baine just punched Sylvanas right there, Sylvanas would have killed Baine outright. And what would have happened to the Tauren? You think Baine's just going to step out of line right then and there and put all of his people at risk? No. We saw what happened with Vol'jin in that. Right? Vol'jin betrays Garrosh. Let's be honest. Vol'jin betrays Garrosh. Vol'jin gets assassinated, and the first thing the Corcoran do is occupy the Dark Spear. You don't think Sylvanas is going to do that on a much more aggressive level? You don't think she's going to wheel in the blight barrels and start some Tauren internment camps? Of course she would. And so people want... WoW's not a Game of Thrones episode where we get the next chapter next week. It's a video game, right? The story comes out over long periods of time, but the stepping stones are there. Baine's stepping stone of defiance was there at the beginning of the expansion with, when Sylvanas says, if you can go join him if you want, or you can stay with the living. And he looks at her and he growls, for the Horde. And then he walks away. That was the biggest fuck you to her possible. He wasn't doing it for her, doing it for the Horde. He's doing it for his people. Not only the Tauren people, but the others. If he steps out and he gets assassinated, who's left to stand against her? Lor'themar? Come on. Come on, Lor'themar, do something. And then we've seen Baine in all of the quest lines coming up, right? We've seen Baine kind of hoping, at Rastikon's funeral, he says, maybe we can open negotiations. And Sylvanas drops a very well-timed line going in front of everyone. I actually loved it. The King of Zandalar has just been killed by the Alliance, and you want to talk? I was like, ooh, that's a good line, Sylvanas. You got him there. And then, of course, Baine expressing his horror and disgust when Derek's raised. Like, it's all been there in the background. But, people want... The chapter 1, day 1, Sylvanas pulls an evil move. Baine's supposed to makara her right on the spot. What? No, that's gonna not solve anything. That would be cool, and it would be a shock and awe moment. But Baine isn't a shock and awe guy. Baine knows that if he does that, his people and the rest of the good Horde, they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. So people who say Baine's done nothing, you haven't been looking. It's been right there in little subtle hints, but it's been there. So don't tell me Baine's a useless, spineless character. I saw a comment on Twitter, or was it YouTube? No, it was posted in my Discord. Was it? No, it was definitely on. It was on in the comments of the video. When Baine inevitably dies because of this, how are they going to put him in his coffin with these fucking huge balls that he has after pulling this move? I mean, Baine just did the unspeakable against Sylvanas. That's huge. That's huge. Don't say Baine does nothing. Come on. Ah, the music.
I return home to take what's...
We got an interesting shot Baine taking up 60% of the shot here. Jaina looking pained again, and Mathias Shaw looking devilishly handsome as always.
I can in my family.
Interesting that he says in my family. Now, the Tauren are a very close, tight-knit group of people, so his tribe is his family. But does Baine actually have a family? Does he have any living family? Is he talking about his wife because there was an off-screen marriage between him and Mela High Mountain? Because I hope so, because that would be cool. Still hoping for that ship.
I hope you take solace in yours.
I find it interesting. Baine walks off camera here, and his Horde insignia is right there, right next to Derek. I hope you take solace in yours. And I think that there's Baine is both saying accept your brother for who he is, because he's not changing, but I think this is a defining moment for both Jaina and what Baine's trying to help the Horde. This is a huge moment for the Horde because Jaina has been exposed to an act of good. Now, I have trouble saying this as a Horde player, but we haven't done very much acts of good lately. Sure, we helped Talanji become queen, and we saved some Loa, but the rest of the expansion, the opening part of the expansion, we're not, the Alliance in terms of good things they've done, they're pretty high up there compared to what we've done as the Horde, burning and pillaging and, all that stuff, throwing blight left, right, and center. So I think that this is a very important moment both for the Horde and Baine and Jaina, because Baine is basically saying, like, take solace in what you have. Like, peace can exist between what we have. Your brother is a Forsaken, but he's still your brother. And we saw that whole story arc with Alonzo's Foul and Turalyon and Gen in Beyond the Storm. Go watch the review I did on Beyond the Storm? Before the Storm, sorry. Because it really shows the Forsaken in a different way, and I think that's what Baine's trying to say here, is there can be solace between you guys here. I'm going to go take solace with my family. I hope you can take it with yours. Derek looks so...
You take solace.
Pained and so uncomfortable.
Baine.
This is huge for Jaina.
Thank you.
Jaina had her own Warbringers episode. Jaina, she who despises the Horde. Dismantle the Horde. Jaina Proudmoore, right? This is, she's a boss in the last raid. She is saying thank you to a leader of the Horde. That's no small feat for someone who has lost so much to this enemy faction. And then the final glance between Jaina and her brother. And Jaina has a sort of... There's it's so difficult to read Jaina's expression here. There's hesitation, uncertainty. There's no pain there, but there's an uneasy look, but not in sort of a distrusting way. It's like almost like a new uneasy. She almost as if she's uncomfortable with the idea that I can accept him. Now, we saw in the post-cinematic dialogue that Jaina has a lot of questions. There's a lot of there's a lot between her and her brother going on, and she doesn't really. She doesn't know how to react. She says, Derek says, "Can I can't come home, can I?" She says, "No, not yet." So much has changed, Derek. There's something I must tell you. And I think that's referring to Dalen. You, Mother Tandred, all endured so much, and pleased to have you again. So where does my path lead? I don't know, but we will find the answer together. But I know others who have been through this. I believe they can help you. Now, I got really excited at that moment, because that to me is Derek and Kalia Menethil now have that. What a power couple. First of all, Derek Proudmoore, the eldest son of Dalen Proudmoore and the daughter of Taranis Menethil. Now, they're undead, so no child is gonna come of it, but what a power couple. Imagine them leading the Forsaken. I've always said Kalia is going to lead the Forsaken after Sylvanas takes off. People hope for Nathanos too, and I honestly think Nathanos is going to be involved in taking down Sylvanas. But can you imagine Derek Proudmoore and Kalia Menethil as the joined leaders of the Forsaken? Oh man, that would be cool. There's been little hints and mentions of Kalia Menethil in the game. At the end of the raid, Jaina and Anduin, Jaina says, "What about my friend Kalia?" And Anduin says, I gotta tell you something. And then he tells her off screen, which I was like, damn it, tell me what he says. Of course, Derek, no matter the storm, we will face it as family. Now, I keep coming back to this idea. Is Derek going to betray Jaina and Catherine, because that was the whole plan, you know. When she says, "Is he the bomb now?" and he says, "Yes, that was the plan." I didn't explain that, but the plan was for him to be returned to the Proudmoores, to be all happy and fun, because, you know, they would happily accept a Forsaken into their family, because Sylvanas overlooked that part, and then Derek would kill them in their sleep. That was Sylvanas' original plan. People are speculating, did Baine just kind of fast forward that plan? Is he already been corrupted, but now the plan is just being rapidly pushed forward? I honestly don't think so, and I think the line, "Stars do shine," that moment is important. That moment is so darn important to Jaina's story and to the song and to when Derek knew her. I think that's kind of the I'm here. I'm actually here, and I'm not a deception. I'm not a mind puppet. I could be wrong though. Maybe Sylvanas' level of betrayal, or not betrayal, level of deceit goes far enough that she dives deep down into that mental psyche. I don't know. But either way, a beautiful, amazing cinematic with that the power and pain in Jaina's voice with the bomb comment and the Tauren instruments and the Daughter of the Sea. Oh my God, so many good moments. I wonder, you know, is there anything else we're missing? Is there another cinematic on the horizon? You know, Crucible of Storms is coming out soon, and 8.2 is going to be on the PTR soon. So there's a lot of juicy stuff coming. We'll see what is coming very soon, guys. So thank you for sitting through this massive, overly long explanation and analysis. I hope you guys enjoy deep dives like this. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know. If it was too long-winded, let me know. I'm bad at condensing things. I get super excited over the smaller details, and then I go all big, you know, on huge side tangents on the larger details. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll see you guys for the next episode of Beyond the Sanctum. Thanks, guys.